Okay, this is more functions and equations. We are on page 601 today. So let's take a look at this. Number 12 is already done for you. All they wanted you to do was write an equation. So they got y equals 11x, which means to get from the x row, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, to get to the bottom, they multiplied by 11. Let's look at 13. So I know we're going to start with y equals, how do we get from 1 to 10, 2 to 20, 3 to 30, 4 to 40, 5 to 50? We multiplied by 10, so we have 10x. I'm going to kind of scroll up so we can look at these problems, these graph problems better. Okay, we're going to start with 0. So we're going to put, because that's the first number, along the x at the bottom. So 4 times 0, we get 0. 4 times 1, because 1 is the next number, we get 4. And then 4 times 2, we get 8. I'm stopping there because otherwise I'll be off the chart. So I'm just going to try to draw as straight as I can. And that's my length for this one. Our next one, we're going to be doing y equals 0.5x. Remember, a letter and a number next to each other means multiplication. So we're going to start with 0. So 0.5 times 0 is 0. Then we have 0.5 times 1. Remember, we're just anything times 1 is that number. So we get 1 times 0.5 is 0.5. Just going to erase this one and we'll do it again. I'm going to do it down here. 0.5 times 2. That means what's half of 2? Half of 2 is 1. So we get 1. Our next one we're going to plug in is a 3. So 0.5 times 3, half of 3, that's what that means, is 1.5. And if you caught the pattern, you can go ahead and put the rest of the dots on there. If you haven't caught the pattern yet, hopefully we can after this next one. 0.5 times 4, that means half of 4 is 2. And if we look, each time it's going up by 0.5, so at 5, we'll be at 2.5. At 6, we'll be at 3. At 7, we'll be at 3.5. We're just going to make our little line as straight as I can and put our arrow in the end. You need to put the arrow because it will continue in that direction. Our next equation, we're adding. So we're going to start with 0 plus 0.5 is 0.5. And then we have 1 plus 0.5, which is 1.5. And then the 1's going to be replaced with a 2 because the 2 is the next number at the bottom. So 2 plus 0.5 equals 2.5. So we go to 2.5. Our next one, we're going to plug in 3 for x because that's our next number. 3 plus 0.5, we get 3.5. So every time we go up, we're going up by 1. So we have 3.5, then we go to 4.5, then 5.5, then 6.5, then 7.5, and 8.5. So that's our line. And these lines, if you look at the 14's line, 15's, and 16's line, they are all linear. What that means is they're in a straight line. Well, there should be in a straight line. Some of us have a hard time drawing a straight line, but it should be a straight line. Linear means that it's a straight line. Even if it's diagonal, it's still in a straight line. Let's scroll up. We're going to look at 17 and 18. 17, a company charges $50 per month for satellite television service, plus an additional $5 for each movie ordered. They already wrote the equation for us. How nice is that? Y equals 50 plus 5x describes the total amount. So all we have to do is take that equation, we're going to graph it. If you look at this equation, there's a little weird thing right there. That just means that they knew nothing was going to be between 0 and 50, so they did a little break in the page so they wouldn't have to draw all those numbers, which will be handy for you later on. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to plug 0 in. So we have 50 plus 5 times 0. Order of operation, we're multiplying first. So 50 times 0 is 0. 5 times 0 is 0, so we have 50 plus 0 is 50. So at the 0, we're at 50. I'm going to erase it, and we're going to do the next one. We're plugging 1 in because 1 comes after 0. So 50 plus, and then we have 5x, so we're going to plug the 1 in for x, so 5 times 1. Multiply first. 5 times 1 is 5, so 50 plus 5 is 55, so at 1, we're right between 54 and 56. Next one, after 1, we count to 2, so we're going to plug 2 into x. So 50 plus 5 times 2, multiply first. So 50 plus 5 times 2 is 10, 50 plus 10 is 60. So at 2, we're going to go up to 60. And then our last number after 2 is 3. So we're going to plug 3 in for x. 50 plus 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. And then 50 plus 15 is 65. So at 3, we're right there at 65, which is halfway between 64 and 66. Draw your line as straight as you can. And there you have that one. Number 18, a fare charges an admission fee of $8. Each ride is an additional 2. So the equation t equals 8 plus 2r describes the total charge t for the number of rides r. They already have the equation for us, so all we're going to do is graph it. We are going to start with 0, just in case you decide to write 0 rides. So we have 8 plus 2 times, remember, 2r means we're going to be multiplying. Our first number of rides we're going to try is 0, so we're plugging 0 in. So 8 plus 2 times 0 is 0. So if at 0 we only paid $8. Now let's see if we rode 1 ride. So we have 8 plus 2 times 1. 8 plus 2, because 2 times 1 is 2. We'd be paying $10 for 1 ride. Seems like it's going to get kind of expensive if we want to ride more rides. So our next one, what happens if we want to ride 2 rides? We're going to plug 2 in for r. So 8 plus 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So 8 plus 4 equals 12. So make sure you get on the 2 line on this one. We get 12. Some of you might see that pattern already. If you do, just go ahead and fill it in. Our next one, what happens if we ride 3? We have 8 plus 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So 8 plus 6 equals 14. Now let's see. Each time we're going up by 2. So if we get to 4, we'll be at 16. So go ahead and draw your line like that. Make your pretty little arrow. Because if I ride 5 or 6 rides, they'll still go up by 2. Okay, let's flip over on the back. We're on page 602 now. Let me get this off the screen. Excuse me. Okay, these two are multiple choice, so let's take a look. The table shows admission prices at a zoo based on the number of guests. So, this is our table. Which equation can be used to find y, the total admissions for x guests? So, we always know it's going to start with y equals, so we can go ahead and cross out these two. And now we're going to see, are we going to multiply or are we going to add? So, how do I get from 1 to 7, 2 to 14, 3 to 21, 4 to 28? You're going to say, we're going to multiply. So, our answer is C. And then on 20, which equation represents the function displayed in the table? So, how do I get from 1 to 5, 2 to 10, 3 to 15, 4 to 20? And you're like, I just have to multiply by 5, so it's only a one-step equation, so your answer is G. Hey, if you need any more help with this, make sure you're coming into study hall, checking out YouTube, or visiting Khan Academy.